Hi, this is Bishop Tim Doherty from the Diocese of Lafayette-in-Indiana. As we approach the Eucharistic Congress, I've been asked about my personal experiences with the Eucharist at Mass. And believe me, it's quite a different experience to be the celebrant and to be looking out at a congregation. I've never been one of those priests who doesn't make eye contact or look above heads in the back row. There's a way that you can kind of be in tune with how people are, and we all say that Mass on a Saturday evening is a lot different than 8 o'clock on Sunday or 11 a.m. on Sunday. So your experience of the Eucharist and the holiness of what's going on is going to vary from time to time. There's some very special experiences that I can remember, and they're very hard to describe in terms of the holiness of the event, in terms of Christ being so present in a moment. Let's say at the ordination of priest or my first Mass. I'm very aware when I'm ordaining priests that there's something very special happening there, and as an instrument of the Church, I have a great honor to participate in. Masses are different at weddings and funerals because sometimes unpredictable things happen at those events. And so while my role is to lead the congregation and to be prayerful, sometimes you have to manage a situation depending upon what's going on, especially in terms of health emergencies that begin to happen. And it's our custom, unless there is danger to everybody in the church, that the priest doesn't leave the altar, that he will continue with the Mass. Adoration is a different kind of an experience, one that I reverence greatly, to sit in silence in front of the Blessed Sacrament. And sometimes, I know people think this sounds strange, but kind of mute my inner voice and just be quiet and silent, and it takes a while to do that sometimes, and listen for the Lord. To listen, and we could do that by reading the scriptures or praying the rosary, or sometimes just sitting in front of the Blessed Sacrament to make ourselves available to Christ's presence. And that's a discipline that I was very grateful to have learned as a small boy serving Mass. When we used to do holy hours or 40 hours, we would kneel silently for a half an hour in front of the Blessed Sacrament. I know that sounds like an eternity to kids today, but it was I'll call it a skill. It was a grace that I learned to do, to learn to listen for the Lord. And when you can do that, sometimes you attain the ability to listen to yourself, your true self, a little bit better. So that's a real gift from God, a real grace. So those are some of the things that are special to me. But each Mass is different in each place. Just to be aware of the Eucharistic mystery. Somebody asked me, what do you feel at the moment of consecration? The whole Eucharistic prayer, from after the offertory through Him, with Him, in Him, is a consecratory prayer. Traditionally, we think the moment of consecration is when the priest says the words of institution in the person of Christ. This is my body, this is my blood. At that moment, a priest is deliberate and thoughtful and very intentional about what he is doing, and that's a really special moment. And it is also a very special moment for the congregation, for what we call the assembly today. So those are a few of my thoughts and ruminations on my personal experience with the Eucharist. I've been a priest for 48 years, so I could tell you lots of stories about those incidents. So let's say I'm saying Mass 350 times a year. That's a lot of Masses over a 48-year period. If you gave me another 3 hours, I could describe some of those wonderful things that have happened. But as it is, may God bless you. Take care.